Honestly, being sick gives me a little bit more compassion towards Gracie because I understand why she's having to gasp for air so often. It really helps me feel a little bit better about myself.
Wow, that is one of the notes I have, but
it's once you notice it. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to. We can do fun. Hi.
You were doing it. You're all good. But on that note, let's start the episode. Click.
Remember that record that you bought me like 2 years ago? Well, I just remembered that it's sitting in the closet. So I called you up just to tell you I've been meaning to listen to that. I've been meaning to listen to that. Why don't you come over and talk about it? Ooh. Why don't you come over and talk about it?
Who's your guys' favorite Nepo baby?
Who's my favorite Nepo baby? That's a good question.
I need a list in front of me or something.
Let's take a look.
It might be Jack Quaid, I think.
I was going to say
Quaid's a lot of fun. I like Ben Platt in spite of a lot,
I didn't like him until I saw the movie of Dear Evan Hansen. Now I really like him.
Now you like it? Yeah. Let's see. Zoe Kravitz, she's pretty great.
She's fine. Did you watch her movie that she directed?
Yeah. Did you see it?
Yeah, I did. Here's the thing. The ending is kind of like, guess what? What he did was actually okay, and we are doing it back to him. Like, I don't know. The twist ending was kind of like, this is fine. I don't know.
That's true. Yeah. I thought there was some good... I mean, shit, I haven't seen it in, I feel like ages now, but I thought some things were done really well. It's too far out of my memory now to like comment on it, but
I can't comment
fine.
that much on it. I think the ending just took me out a little bit.
Sure.
I like her as an actress a lot.
Yeah.
Or actor.
I like Haley Joel Osment quite a bit too. Like I thought he was
who's he the child of?
Oh, he's not an Nepo baby. Well, I don't know if he's a Nepo baby.
Oh,
I'm just, he was in that Zoe Kravitz.
Like him?
No, he was in that Zoe Kravitz movie.
Oh, he was in the Zoe Kravitz movie.
But you know what? I'd say I'd like him anyway because I like
Zoe. I like Joel Osteen too. Yeah. My favorite
Joel Osteen.
Nepo, yeah, I love Joel Osteen. My favorite Nepo baby is Buca de Nepo. Like it's the son of the guy who created Buca de Beppo, and like it's that's
what's he doing
now? He's making hey, hi everybody! Welcome to the show. I've been meaning to listen to that. The podcast where we go through albums we've been meaning to listen to and use as a conduit to learn about each other and our guests. I'm Andrew Ambrose Lee.
I'm Michael Limentato.
I'm Sean. do we?
Yeah, do it. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
I'm Sean Wilkinson.
the season 3 and 4 configuration.
Yeah,
that's a lot of fun. Yeah, and to send Michael off, into the wild, into the wilderness, we got a very wonderful guest here. She's, been on a couple episodes. She's been on our Taylor Swift Red episode, our Hadestown episode, our Lizzie McAlpine episode. Please welcome back Alison Mink.
Hi. Terror. Good to be back.
Hi, Alison.
Hello.
Yeah, hello. Our final Michael episode is an episode on Gracie Abrams,
his favorite artist.
He's so excited about it.
It's maybe one of the most fun people to hate of all time. Genuinely, I've probably gotten the most joy out of like shit posting hatred about her. Like it's so fun.
Yeah, like what better way to send Michael off than like on a bubbling wave of hate,
honestly, really though,
like to capture his spirit.
And not only do I hate her, she's like succeeding on every level. Like she's dating Paul Mescal. She's like she has abs. She has everything I want.
She does have abs, and she'll let you know she has abs.
Yeah, she'll flash that ab crack.
Yeah, she does.
Ab crack.
But yeah, we're talking about Gracie Abrams. Let's start with you, Allison. What's your
Sean Googling ab crack, Gracie Abrams ab crack.
What? I don't know what you're talking
about. Let's talk about Gracie Abrams. Allison, what's your history, preconceived notions with Gracie Abrams?
So I first listened to Gracie Abrams probably like 2 years ago, so somewhat recently on Good Riddance, and I'm actually a fan of Good Riddance. I do like what that album is doing. I struggle with liking her for I feel probably a lot of the same reasons maybe Michael does, just because I don't know. I fear in a lot of ways she's maybe not as vocally developed as other artists, or like as far along in her career to have the experience and like know how to get her songs produced to their fullest and best potential. There's a lot of like things that we can get into with this album, but in general, I try to be a middle neutral ground for Gracie, where like I'm not a stan of Gracie, but I like some things she's done in the past. I think she has some potential for the future, but there's a journey to get there.
She totally does have potential. That's the thing. I think that's like the most baseline reason to kind of like dislike the art she puts out now is it's just like, damn, like you are doing. Yes, I totally. I'm so glad that that's the way you're coming at it, Allison, because I'm being a hater, but I can actually talk about this in some reasonable way.
It's not just a wave of hate. It's a wave of hope as well.
Oh my God, the next Star Wars trilogy?
A wave of hope and hate.
Yeah.
How long has she been around though?
Like 5 years, something like that. Something like that. Like,
she put out a song in 2019 called "Mean It." That's her first like Spotify thing.
Well, yeah.
Okay. Huh.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and she's like pretty young.
Do you think
she's
she caused the pandemic?
Gracie Abrams truthers line up.
That's a good reason to hate her. Like, honestly, like if the music's like mid, I'm like, I don't know if that's a good reason. But if she caused the pandemic, I'm like, yeah, get her.
Wait, can I tell you guys something crazy, not kind of related? It's like literally me bringing something up that I'm like, oh, that reminds me. But I just read this book called Severance. It's by this author named Ling Ma. It's not based on the TV show is not based off of this book, but it is about a fever virus that comes from China in like a specific region of China that comes like it goes throughout the whole world. It makes people like basically like nostalgia zombies doing like the same thing over and over until they die. But it was written in like 2011. And it is so weird because they like get N95 masks and they're like, these are fake. These don't help. And it's like, what? Like, it's honestly kind of like agitating to read because I'm like, Ling Ma must have been like, I'm a genius.
I need more money for this or something.
Yes. I invented COVID. Like,
it was set in March of 2020. Yeah.
Basically, it's crazy.
This book is aging like wine and just like an awful disease.
And I've been reading it. I've been like bringing it around. And I was reading it at the urgent care last night when I went to get like prescribed the flu medication that you take like in the first couple days of getting the flu. And I was there reading it, and ivermectin. Well, I'm already taking that daily.
Gotcha. Okay.
I was reading it in the lobby and I started to get like scared. Like, you know, like when you get like a sense of like fear from behind. Like, I was listening to Gracie Abrams too. It was like a nightmare situation.
Mm-hmm. And you were listening in spatial audio. She's like right behind you.
Her abs were right here. Her abs were right here.
I was hearing the ab muscles rubbing together.
Yeah.
Like a insect or something.
What about you, Sean? Besides the fact that you now know she has an ab crack, what's your history with Gracie Abrams?
I knew nothing. It's funny because like I had heard the name thrown around like the internet and whatever, and nothing. I didn't hear anything. I just like heard her name. I feel like I didn't hear like, oh, she's really good. This album's really good, or this album's really bad, or whatever. I felt like I just heard her name thrown around, and I think last week I like tweeted something about. Like, oh, not tweeted. I guess I didn't tweet, but I blue skied something. And so like, I don't know anything about Gracie Abrams. And at this point, I'm too afraid to ask. And then as soon as I posted that, Andrew messaged me and was like, hey, you want to do the Gracie Abrams episode? And I was like, okay.
Oh, you don't know anything?
I read your blue skeets.
Sign.
You know,
I blue skeets.
Yeah.
Are they called anything?
Blue skeets.
I think so.
Yeah. Anyways.
Yet to be. But
clouds? Shouldn't they be called clouds?
That's kind of a thing already, though.
Yeah, like send it to the cloud.
In the cloud.
Yeah.
Should I kill myself?
Yeah.
Right after this.
I think about that
Excellent.
tweet so often.
Damn,
should I kill myself?
One of my friends found out. Sorry, don't keep any of this in. One of my friends found out that I wrote a suicide note in high school, and like I threw it away. I didn't do anything, but she found that out from like we were all talking. I don't know how it came up. Probably I said, "Oh, do you guys want to hear about my suicide note I wrote in high school?" Like similar, probably to this. And
Oh my God.
then she goes, "Okay, guess what? New band. You can't say should I kill myself anymore. It's not funny to me anymore." So I'm like, it's a reference. It's a reference.
So you found new friends? Just like,
Yeah, literally. I'm like, guess I can't talk to you anymore. Sorry.
But speaking of like, should I kill myself? What's your relationship to?
Don't keep any of that in.
What's your relationship to Gracie Abrams? Michael?
Genuinely, I did not listen to her music until I saw that music video of when the the deluxe.
That's so true.
Yeah, that's it.
That's so true.
And
There's
she
a video for that?
yes, and it's like everywhere. Mostly it's like people being like, y'all can hate as much as you want, but this is the best song of all time. And it's that video like to rage bait, but then people put other songs on top of it. Like someone put Party for You over it. And it was, like stuff like that. And so I was like, I got memed into knowing about Gracie Abrams basically. And like, I became like a learned hater, like I love to do. And, she's a Nepo baby, easy shot, but Nepo baby is really how she got in the door. Like no artist on earth could go to Taylor Swift on their second album. Nobody. Like Chappell Roan can't go to Taylor Swift and go, want to be on one of my songs? Like,
yeah.
And also Chappell Roan is not on her second album. Rise and Fall of Midwest Princess is not her first album. Like she's done other stuff. That's just when she's become famous. Gracie Abrams' genuinely second album. It's like Taylor Swift is featuring on my song, and I'm making her feature the way Taylor Swift features women on her songs. She gets to barely be in
Yeah, that's
it.
wild.
Yes, that is true.
And it's just like that's enough. I've dug my claws in enough to have valid points, and now I can be a hater. So that's my history with her.
I didn't even know she was a Nepo baby until like a year ago. I felt so out of the loop.
I watched every now and then I watched Fantano, and I was watching his review of this album. And the top comment was like something about like you hated this album because something about Star Wars or something, like she's gonna be in the next Star Wars or something. And I was like, oh, that's funny.
Abbo the Hutt.
And then I was like, oh, she's actually J.J. Abrams' kid. That's shocking to me. But I guess because like these like she's working with big producers like
and it kind of outsizes the vocals and writing ability. I'm like, wow, the instrumentation of this sounds weirdly good. Like I mean, it's not the type of music I gravitate towards, but like it sounds good. I have no qualms about it. She's not using her old Focusrite microphone thing, which I think stopped working. Is my audio still working? Hello?
Yeah, you sound okay.
It sounds okay. It sounds all right. Yeah.
Okay. That's still working, I guess. If my audio sounds as bad as Brat ever, I need a Cardi B.
I didn't notice. I like it sounds as bad as it usually sounds. But anyways,
so it's hard to compare.
Not just the audio quality, but the words and the content as well.
I'm not the reverse of a wordsmith. I'm like a word tangler or something.
I just like when I saw like Gracie Abrams hate, and there's some funny ones. I have to admit, there's some really funny ones, like the picture of like the horse and like the 3/4 of the drawing looks really bad, and like they're the three different pops, like Chappell Roan, Billie Eilish, Olivia Rodrigo, and like Gracie's like the poorly drawn one, or like there's a very funny one in the Anthony Fantano comments where like Gracie is to Taylor Swift as J.J. Abrams is to Steven Spielberg. Just like that idea of just like
that's funny.
Yeah,
I saw someone say that Gracie makes Taylor Swift sound like Mariah Carey.
Jesus Christ!
I don't think. Yeah,
No, it's genuinely not. It's not like wow, don't sing. Clearly, it's not wow, don't sing. But it's so funny to like. It's just a mean thing to say. I love like when people just are like, I'm gonna be fucking mean.
Yeah, so like this actually reminds me of like a stand-up bit where Shane Torres, he has a great bit on Guy Fieri where like Shane Torres is like, people shit on that dude like all the time, and as far as I could tell, all he ever did was follow his dreams. Because he has flames on his shirt, everyone shits on this dude like he's a member of Nickelback. And by the way, what did Nickelback ever do? It's kind of like this idea of just like, they're like people on TikTok or just like this, like before people even listen to them, like this propaganda that you have to hate.
Yeah,
them.
so you're
like,
willing to be hate first. It's like hate for first, yeah.
Yeah.
And then you also get to know the cringiest, worst parts first. And then you have no way of like it's like, when your friends hate a person that you meet through the person that hates the person, is you're only ever going to know bad qualities about that person.
Yeah. Right. And then like the music itself, if you just like, like it played in an elevator, it'd be like, oh, okay. Just like, it'd be like, very like neutral on it. Like her music itself is not polemic, but she's attached to very polemic figures like Taylor Swift and Nepo babies. It's like the two things she's like, and that's polemic. And my friend, he works in marketing, and he said, my job is to create that polemic quality to like the way like Apple is polemic, just like people love Apple, people hate Apple. There's like one thing about like the iPhone that like sucks, and like people get upset about that, and like that's his job basically.
I was like, is it the dance that makes people not like Apple or what? I was not listening.
Hot off the
when I
episode.
hear one word and stop remembering the other stuff you said.
That's why you're like getting off the show, is you're not an active listener also.
When you don't use context clues.
Huh?
Tim Cook is not having a Brad Summer, by the way.
You think Tim Cook ever did the Apple dance like at like a board meeting, and everyone was like, "Don't do the Apple dance"?
Yeah, some like social media person was like, "Tim, do it, we gotta teach you."
Yeah, and maybe he like did it one time, and he's like, "Actually, delete that right now. Let me watch you delete it."
Yeah.
Okay, go to recently deleted.
Make sure I the other preconceived notion is just like when I listen to this, there's a tweet about Kendrick Lamar Baby Keem, where Baby Keem is like Kendrick Lamar's cousin, and like he's basically like a nepo cousin where he like has a career, and he does silly little raps, and like someone says like Baby Keem sounds like one of Kendrick's voices escaped and grew its own body, where like Gracie sounds like the "I love you, ain't that the worst thing you heard?" like that line.
Sorry
like
to our
that
editor.
that line grew its own body and like personage, and like like
What's it take to get you up? What's it take to get you up? God. Ooh, ooh.
Oh man.
Yeah, so I guess like just like to wrap this part up, like it's like this just like Gracie just feels like a natural conclusion to like the Taylor Swift like influence of just the wonderful thing about Taylor Swift is she's inspired a new generation to pick up a guitar and like write songs and like give interiority and voice to like the female like experience, as I talk over Alison. But then also
unmuting too. And she's using the raise hand function in Zoom, by the way, and you keep ignoring it. You keep dismissing it.
It's fine.
But then like but then like the negative cynical version is like Gracie Abrams is the truest heir to Taylor Swift because she's like a privileged nepo baby using the machinery of the industry to water down music and to coerce like smaller artists into submission and into her image. So it's just like,
I don't know about that.
I don't know. Yeah. Like that's like a side to look at it. And like, it just I think people feel kind of gaslit where Gracie's pushed as the next great thing when reality, she could use a few more years to like develop her own voice instead of being like a kind of a derivative. And then it's also like, what is she even? Like, where is she on the spectrum? She's not camp princess like Chaperone. She's not like cutting edge like Charlie. She's not like a cringe disaster like Katy Perry. So like the lane
that would be awesome if she was a cringe disaster. Actually, I might be like, wait,
but like she like we see like in the videos we see like little glimpses like, oh, she could be a cringe queen. She kind of like sticks her tongue out in one of the videos. She goes like, bleh, like, and that's it. Like, that's all she does. Yeah,
but no, that's like her. That's like that was. It's. I mean, it's like Allison said of like, yeah, there's like a wave of hope, I think you said, but like her influences are so clear on this album to the point of like there's nothing. Yeah, she's still cooking, like in a sense where she hasn't really figured out her sound yet, I feel like.
And every single song sounds like
this
sounds like something else. Like she's kind of doing like a Phoebe Bridgers did Taylor Swift music.
Definitely.
Olivia Rodrigo.
Yes. And then I was like, is this just like Phoebe Bridgers? Like I kind of like pulled up lyrics one to one, and like Phoebe Bridgers is a better lyricist. She might not be a better singer necessarily, but she's a better lyricist. And her stuff, I mean, I think she is, but I'm not trying. I'm trying not to go all out. But it's just like, you know, everything she's doing is like a 6 out of 10 of the thing she's imitating. But the thing she's imitating is what I want to go to. You know?
No, exactly. It's like, like that was exactly my thought with especially Phoebe Bridgers was like the really breathy, like whispered songs. They sound really good, but it's just lyrically, it's just not.
But there. I also think, does Phoebe Bridgers catch her breath after every single thing she sings?
Probably not.
Like, that is really, I'm not trying to be like a nitpicker, but it is the number one thing I noticed listening to this album is that she takes a breath at any opportunity, like and into the mic.
Yeah, I mean, I will say a lot of. There's a lot of music that if you actually listen for the breaths, they're there, but like it's pretty apparent in this album. Like it seems more so than other music, but I don't know. I didn't notice that as much, but I do see what
it's giving. Get that girl an inhaler, you know?
Well, it's really obvious in her live performances too, because I've seen so many like clips from her shows on TikTok where she'll either like change the melody or like go up an octave or something, and her like kind of vocal weaknesses really start to shine where she is gasping into the mic, and it's much more obvious because it's live especially. But then she does go into those like kind of whinier upper registers that are not her strong suit, I don't think. I prefer the wispier songs.
Yeah. Well, that's interesting too though, because like I mean, if it's a vocal ability thing, it's kind of like, why wouldn't you edit that out of the record? So it must be a choice, or it's just too much work to get rid of it. I don't know.
Or maybe it's like, this is how I sing. Like, this is part of the process. This is how it sounds. This is how I'm used to hearing it. Like, maybe an engineer at one point was like, hey, you know, you're breathing into the mic all the time. And she's like, okay.
Well, it's like editing a podcast where if you edit out all the ums, it's going to sound robotic and AI like. So it's like, I don't know. There's a fine line.
Sean. Now, Allison, what would you have in response to say to that?
You were listening to 20 hours of Phoebe Bridgers. Sounds like you were having a hard time.
Hey,
did you guys listen to your Spotify?
DJ Spotify.
Yes.
Dude,
I'm like, why is DJ Spotify black? Like, I don't. Yeah. I like that. I like it. It's good, but it is like, it's a strong choice. You know what I mean?
I don't like DJ Spotify personally. I don't like what he serves up to me. Well, I don't like that he changes it every 5 songs. Have you heard this before?
And it's like, you know, like, I don't know, 212 by Azalea Banks. And I was like, I paused it to turn on DJ Spotify. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
I do miss, I just switched to Apple Music and I miss the Spotify, like crazy playlist names.
I like the Spotify use. I can never switch. Like, I'm not going to switch.
Apple's not as, it's just not.
Wait, are you talking about the Apple dads?
Yeah. Yeah.
I thought that would be funny to say, Andrew. I didn't actually think that, okay?
That would be funny of me to have said. But yeah, like I think I don't know. Like she's like, so she's not all the things I listed, you know, Camp Princess, all that cutting edge innovator. She's like very vanilla, but as Nick Weiger says on Doughboys, vanilla's a flavor and a good one. You know, like
Some
sometimes
people like it, man.
Yeah, sometimes I don't want like the Sonic like Blizzard with all like the, you know, the Flavor Max, Butterfinger, Butterscotch, M&M, Fudgefinger,
Butterscotch.
Yeah, like I don't want that. I just want to go to Burger King and get my vanilla
I don't want
cone,
buttersquash in my one, I don't know what that is. Two, if it's butternut squash, I extra don't want that in my ice cream.
Yeah, it's just like sometimes I want like a vanilla cone, and then I get bummed out if they don't have it. You know, like it's just like this is fun. I had a good time listening to this. I was like, and then like I guess like the Fantano enters the review. His whole thing was like, why does this exist if like all these other artists have, you know, there's a better version of it already out there. As he said, I think it's like it's valuable to make art and express what you're going through, no matter who you are, you know, even if there's a better version of it out there, you know, and stuff like that. You know, that's the reason we have a podcast.
Yeah, no, you're right. If she could come in and be like, Gracie Abrams could be like, guess what? I listened to a podcast about my album, and they freaking stick at podcasting. One of their mics sounds bad. And he also doesn't listen. And guess what? He'll never make it as a drag queen.
She knows so much about you.
Yeah.
She listened to a lot to be like a deep hater.
My
Limentato, fuck you.
She sings that. She talks like that one song. Like,
Paul Mescal. I'm sorry.
I think they broke up. I think Paul.
I miss you,
Gracie recently.
I cried during Gladiator 2.
We're gonna miss you. Oh my god! Like this is sad. I'm very sad.
I like that. I don't like how I sound on the microphone or my singing voice, and yet for some reason, the parts I know will make a clip are like me singing so much or like being insane. It sucks.
Yeah. Like so. Let's go into themes of this album. Let's talk about. We already talked about Gracie Abrams enough. We're very like, you know, all things considered, like not as like hatery as I thought it would be. So like, let's talk about themes of this album, like Secret of Us. Yeah, Secret of Us.
Yeah,
I keep
you
thinking
guys did not listen to the deluxe one, right?
I listened to that one song, the one with the
the one that she talks like.
Yeah,
I have listened to it, but won't reference.
Okay, we can. I
do like the drums in that song.
I can't speak a lot outside of After Close to You. I mean, I know that's a true song, but otherwise can't speak too much outside of it. She did take a note, speaking of themes, from Charlie XCX, but from a couple years back. She's thinking about boys. That's what this album's about. She is
big time.
It is. I think there's not one song that's on the base album that's not about like being in love or breaking up.
Yeah,
genuinely.
Yeah.
Or someone just
that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
It's kind of old Taylor Swift vibes in that sense, where it is like, oh my God, she's boy crazy, which is like, you know, sexist to say or whatever, but maybe I'm saying it right now.
But that's what like kind of threw me off was like, and maybe I'll get a little mean, I guess, but like she's 25 and these songs kind of sound like a 14-year-old wrote them.
That is exactly what I was going to say. Yeah. It makes me feel ancient because I feel like, and I feel like this sometimes listening to certain Olivia Rodrigo songs too, where I'm like, maybe I'm not the target audience for this because I feel like this is really for like young love, first loves, people who are like, I'm going to risk it all for this relationship. I don't care if it fucks me up. Sorry, can I swear on this? I forget.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, sweet.
Yeah.
It's going to fuck me up. Like people who are like so fine with that. And I feel like that is just not like a person who has been through it.
Attitude.
Yeah. It's a
and also, sorry.
No, I was gonna say it's the bio for this album on Apple says Gracie Abrams may be fresh off her teenage years, and she's 25. I'm like, that's not fresh off teenage years.
Absolutely not. Yeah.
No, it's like me, a baby teenager, barely not a teenager, turning 29 in a month and a half.
Yeah, right.
I'm turning 30 this year, but I too am fresh off my teenage years.
Right.
So,
Right. Yeah.
I, as a former baby myself, I would like to say.
Baby.
Oh, well, there's some, I think like, you know, when you're dating and you're in your early 20s and you're getting like freedom for the first time, it does feel like you're kind of regressing in a way of just like when she kind of
you're making mistakes for the first time again and like new things like that.
Do some more sit-ups, make some more mistakes, do some more sit-ups.
Yeah, I just like it's like
you don't hit your PR. It's not the term. Yeah.
Watch Gladiator 2, do some more sit-ups.
She's
just like me for real.
so relatable. Where is the song about that?
She just like
artists don't do the same song with different words often enough. They'll leave it to Weird Al to do. Gracie Abrams, the Michael Limentato challenge. Make that song again, but make it really about Paul Mescal. Issued.
It's
looking
also
at
like,
you, Gracie Abrams.
Well, Sabrina did it for her like Christmas special, which is why you like it so much.
Loved it. I messaged you guys that I loved it. You got me thinking Christmas.
It's so good. I love it.
I love it.
Yeah.
I'm also, Serena does silly. Like, that's the thing Serena does that no one else is really doing. She is like, I mean, she's gonna be like Katy Perry in like 10 years where we're gonna be like
No, don't
cringe
say that.
queen. I do kind of, because that's what people used to think about Katy Perry. Like, she's so funny. She's
right.
so silly.
Yeah.
But unless you learn how to evolve with the times, which I don't know. We'll see. But okay, sorry, Andrew, you were talking.
No, totally. It's like she feels like she's like a moth that's smart enough to know that the light is bad, but it takes all her strength to like kind of fly away from it, you know? Like
that's funny.
Yeah, a lot of the songs are about that. It's like it takes all her strength to go like, no, I'm not gonna make that bad decision, you know? Like
do not go towards the light. Did you notice when you said she's like the moth that flies toward the light? Sean started rubbing his hands together like the guy raised by the fly. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Alison does.
The guy raised by the fly?
Okay.
Do you know this?
No.
Oh my God,
I don't know this. Yeah.
Okay. There's this TikTok. It's like a guy thirst trapping. Yes. So it's this guy thirst trapping. It's like guy who's raised by his mom or guy raised by his dad. He's like angry and he's like, ugh, he's like ripping his shirt off. It's like guy raised by his mom and he's like polite. And then like some like thin like twink with like long arms. Casey Frey style was like guy raised by a fly and he's like rubbing his hands together.
I'm watching it right now.
It's so good. It's one of my favorite videos.
Probably one of the best all-time TikTok. Like that's on the TikTok post-mortem.
Yeah.
In the 12 hours, I watched that on YouTube because I wasn't able to see it while it was down.
I missed it. Yeah.
I need to see it.
I needed it.
TikTok.
What are we talking about?
TikTok pulled 1/3 of a Jesus, by the way. You know, it was back in like a day. You know, like,
1/3.
And just like Jesus, when TikTok came back to life, it thanked President Trump.
Oh no! Oh no! Yeah. The other theme I just wrote down is like it feels like she took like a Taylor Swift bridge writing course at NYU and got a B+. You know, just like like nothing is as good as. You know, we danced together underneath the refrigerator light. You know, you made a rebel out of careless man's careful daughter. Nothing's ever as good as that. Like, but there are moments where she's trying and like occasionally she like hits on some gold. Occasionally she like, but there's like a formula there. It's like it feels like very like to the point where like when Taylor shows up on the song, it feels like. What it takes her to be like, oh yeah, Taylor Swift hook. That's actually good, you know. Like, but I don't know. It's also very sing-alongable. I think that's this made me want to go to a concert of hers because it feels like very fun to just like sing along with this, you know, just like sway around and stuff. And like,
all three of us made faces when you said that.
I was going to say that was so interesting you said that.
The problem is though, it's like they all sound the same, so I wouldn't know which song is which when she starts a song, and like
Yeah,
Right.
there's a rung of songs at the end of the album, back
Yeah,
back
yeah,
to
totally.
back, that go together. And
Mhm.
I played them for Brandon, my boyfriend, and it literally
Humble
it's
brag.
like
It's
just
they're
like
innocent
humble brag.
until it gets to the song
It's
that
like-
sounds like she stole it from Midnight's. That last song
Yeah.
on the album, I'm like,
Mm.
this is a Midnight
Mm.
song.
It's a bop.
Well,
Yeah.
because it sounds like it's from
Because
Midnight.
you copied
Yeah.
her homework. You copied
Yeah,
her
it's
homework.
that-
You know,
Yeah. I
It's
kind
like
of
me when I
agree.
make
you
a
can copy
pop,
my
my
homework
drums
just to
go-
like change the answers enough where like
Yes.
you know.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, I'm talking a lot. Yeah.
No, you're okay. I was gonna
No,
say
I
I kind
am
of
too.
agree with your point about the Taylor Swift school of bridge writing a little bit, because I did notice that it feels very much like I can almost picture Gracie writing these songs and being like, okay, versus chorus, got it, bridge, and like locking into the bridge for so many of them and like focusing and spending a lot of time on that. And then there's a habit I noticed of like repetition of the verses and choruses otherwise, where it'll be like the same lyrics for both verses or like just repeated chorus or go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah. It feels like the bridges are always the most interesting part of these songs.
Yeah.
Where like, you know, Taylor's bridges would be like in like Architectural Digest, and like Gracie's would be like a little toothpick bridge, you know, you make in science class, where like the marshmallows.
Yeah. Yeah, because I feel like too in Taylor Swift songs, she's really good about like structure. Well, she'll have like a story that builds or like everything kind of makes sense with each other, and then the bridge will be a connection to the end of the song. And for Gracie, sometimes it's like, okay, here's a verse, you guys, and then here is a bridge because this song needs a bridge. And then
Because
here's another
Taylor did,
verse,
because
and
Taylor
here's a
did
song.
it,
Like,
and you know, like what would she do? You know,
yeah, yeah. It doesn't always have the cohesive arc that I feel like
Yeah.
a lot of Taylor does.
yeah. Let's go into some highlight songs and lowlight songs. Right after this break. Click. And we're back here to talk about Gracie Abrams, The Secret of Us. I keep thinking it's like the name of the album's The Last of Us or something like that. You know, it's like it's about mushroom people. But yeah, like let's talk about Gracie Abrams. By the way, Us, not about tethers. It's kind of messed up that they don't like get into like the, you know, differences
The
of like
vast sewage system underneath America
Yeah.
that holds
Yeah,
the copies
yeah.
of us that are under there that eat the chickens like strawberries.
Mhm, mhm. You know,
Yeah.
not doesn't really like examine class and race and like the relationship between the two. But
Do you
everybody,
think Lupita Nyong'o was on us initially, and then she got Taylor Swift and she replaced the vocals?
yeah. Okay, so like, yeah, let's talk about this album. Low lights. Let's start with there. You know, let's start from that energy.
Good luck, Charlie.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Boo.
the stretch of the album from Gave You I" through Good Luck Charlie is nap time on the album for me a little bit.
Agree.
Yeah.
And also, Good Luck, Charlie. It's like pretending to be like deep. Like this is the most pretending to be deep song I think on the album, where it's like very lyrically sparse. It's like, oh, you have like this ex, or maybe it's like and people thought she was dead because of your ex, but actually like, oh, I hope hope you find your which is like a classic 14-year-old like breakup move, which is like, hope you like Bethany, enjoy sitting with Bethany in recess or whatever, you know?
Yeah.
At the lunch table.
Yeah, exactly. Good luck on your trigonometry test, Charlie.
Also, like, Good Luck Charlie is like a kids show. So
Yeah,
it's
I
like a
really-
reference thing.
yeah.
Like, yeah.
I really thought like before I knew she was J.J. Abrams' kid, I was like, oh, I went to go look up Good Luck Charlie because I
She's the
thought this
girl
was
from
where
Good
she
Luck
was.
Charlie.
Yeah. All grown up. And then I
Oh,
would have
it's
felt
a-
really old.
It's about the baby who was Good Luck Charlie's grown up now, because that was in like early YouTube days, so he's a grown up now. So it's about him.
Isn't Bridget Mendler the girl that was from Good Luck Charlie?
Yeah.
And isn't she
She's
like a double
badass.
PhD now?
Yeah.
Whoa.
She owns
Yeah.
a company,
Yeah,
like a
she's-
space company.
Oh,
She's
wow.
launching
Oh, she should be in
satellites.
Trump's cabinet.
Better
She should
than
be
all the other
president.
guys. You know?
Honestly, Bridget Mendler,
Bridget Miller for president.
Bridget Mendler, who could be VP? Let me
If
think about what
Gracie
VP
Abrams ran for president, she'd have abinets.
Oh.
Yeah!
Oh, thank you. Oh,
Yes,
thank you so
yes,
much.
yes, yes, yes.
Oh gosh.
Hilarious.
Oh gee.
Shaw G.
Oh gee. Oh gosh.
Yeah, like, you know, when you
Okay,
so I
fine. Obama's going to be vice president for
For Bridget
Mendler.
yeah. So
Yeah.
sometimes I listen to like sleep meditations to go to bed, and like sometimes I'll listen to like there's like an 8-hour one on YouTube, and so like in hour 4, it kind of doesn't matter what the guy is saying. Like no one knows what the guy is saying during that part. Like the album feels like that, and like it was like there's a sameness to the album where. The first time I listened to this album, it took 8 hours to listen to it all the way through. It's just like, I gotta start over, I guess. Like I didn't catch all that, just like it took too long.
Yeah. It's like when you read a page and you realize you've disassociated like halfway through, but your eyes are still moving. Like,
Right.
Reset. Yeah.
I would not have reset. I would have pushed through.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, just like unrelated story. Like one time when I was in 2nd grade, I didn't know how to read very well. I knew how to read, but I didn't know how to, like, my reading wasn't advanced yet. Or I was like a young age. I don't know if I was in 2nd grade, but like
as we all were once, former young agers.
Me, former baby.
Yeah, I just got out of my teenage years. But I had like a copy of Harry Potter Chamber of Secrets, and I pretended to read it for like 8 hours straight. Like I didn't.
What?
I was just like holding the book. I was like pretending to read the book.
It was upside down.
That was
Harry
like
Potter and the Chamber of Secrets of Us.
Yeah. That's right.
Yes.
That's right.
That is so funny you
Tying
did
it back.
that. Because I did the opposite of that, where my parents were like, you can't go on the computer until you've read a book for today, or like read a little bit and been outside. So I took Chamber of Secrets, sat on the front stoop for 30 minutes, and went back inside and said, I read all of it. I finished this book. Let me on the computer. And they were like, you absolutely did not.
Oh, right.
You did not do that. Yeah, you lied to us.
I remember Allison, I used to have to practice the piano or the cello to like when I was or the violin because I was so little then. But yeah, my cello was a violin. No, I played the violin when I was a little kid, but I was playing and in order to get on the computer, I had to equal the amount of minutes on the piano or the violin as I did on the computer. But that actually turned out to be a terrible plan because what happened was I was just always playing the piano and the violin so I could stock up on my like minutes basically. Yeah. And they were like, we hate this. You're playing too much violin now.
Okay.
Especially at that level of skill, I'm sure.
Yes.
You're like actually like
7 years
virtuoso, but like you've chosen not to.
I could have been incredible, but I just wanted to be on the computer.
Then you're a podcast.
Momo Law, like the next. But yeah,
Momo Law.
I was Michael Limentato. I was like Momo Law.
Yo play on Yo Ma.
So like,
swapping the letters.
Also, one more story.
It's so much more confusing. Shouldn't it be Mimi Lee?
No, it shouldn't be. Actually, it should be Momo.
Insane. This album cover sucks, by the way.
Yeah,
Lolo Me.
This whole album shoot.
So, anyways, this cover sucks. It's bad.
It does stink.
Yeah. It's very boring.
Yeah.
Honestly, there's like the face covers that are everywhere in pop music. That's enough. Unless you're doing something fun, it can't be of your face.
Mm-hmm. I think there's some shots in like the music video that could have slayed a little better. Just like, I don't know, her on the beach or something. Like do something.
It's like it's the font for me. I don't like the font of. It's the font for me.
Okay, have you guys seen? Speaking of worst album covers of all time, have you guys seen Tate McRae's upcoming album cover?
No idea who that is.
You don't know who Tate McRae is?
Wait.
I do not.
Look up Tate McRae's sports car. It's the sports car.
Tate McRae abs.
I mean, she does have abs, but this is one of the most.
Is it her sitting on the floor? Is that the one?
And her leg is like splayed out to the side, and then her face is in the background, like the wolves inside of you ghost.
Yes.
It's one of the worst album covers I've ever seen, and I honestly, it's like so bad it kind of comes around where I'm like, you're making like choices. Like, do I like any of these choices? No.
It's gonna give gay people a new idea how to sit.
I love it. It's like the Angelina Jolie leg. It's like she just found out about that.
You know what though? Like this, like that. What you're just saying kind of reminds me of the "I Love You, I'm Sorry" video, where like she's like actively not slaying, you know. She's act like she goes to an award show and she's like at the asshole of the year award, and then she accepts the award, she pulls off the head of the Oscar, and then it's a microphone, and then she sings in it. It's like it's such a not like slay at all, but it like kind of goes around to being like, and like in that video, like it's clear she doesn't come from the chaperone school of like TikTok lip syncing, you know, like where she like had like years of practice just like lip syncing her own songs and stuff. Where in the lip sync, there's like a slight disconnect from the song and her lip syncing, where like she's playing it big.
She's smiling so big in that music video. That's what I remember.
Yeah, like,
I'm like, this doesn't match this at all.
The song is like a bubbling, whirling emotions finally having its day in the sun, and she's just like playing it big.
Yeah, she's like, and I'll have a drink, lean out my window.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like, and it's like, it reminds me of the Delicate video where like Taylor makes a bunch of cringy faces that are so divorced from reality or humor that like it's kind of like I can't stop like. So where I'm at the point where I can't stop watching this video, I'm just like, this is so like uncanny, you know. I'm just like, I don't know. That's my thought on that song, though.
Yeah.
Any other lowlights?
Us, maybe. I don't know.
That one had to grow on me a little bit.
Yeah.
Still.
I mean, again, it's just like they both like Taylor does not stand out enough. Like I really did not recognize at first like when Taylor started singing. So it's just I don't know.
I'm surprised people haven't demanded a more Taylor version, like what they did for Snow on the Beach.
Yeah, they have not come for her the same way. I dislike Let It Happen, which I think people have been trying to have it have its moment on TikTok, and I hate the chorus of Let It Happen because it's another one of those like da 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 like all the way up here vocally, and it's just a repetitive note basically for most of it, and it hurts the ears. So not really a fan of that one, and then also not a fan of Tough Love. I love the opening of Tough Love because it's almost identical to Where Do We Go Now from Good Riddance. It has the same beat. There's like two songs open almost exactly the same. So I thought when I first heard it, like, oh, this could be like the new Where Do We Go Now? And I love that song. It's not. And it's just, it doesn't have the same like continuity that song has. It kind of feels again like here's a verse and then here's a chorus and they don't necessarily work together. And it just kind of feels like she's saying like, and now here's something else. And now here's a moment where I'm going to yell. And now here's a moment where I'm going to sing real quiet. And like, it just doesn't carry the
almost
energy.
Every single song is
Right.
part of this year. It's part of the Taylor Swift writing class where it's like Taylor Swift, for her many faults, is good at that, where she can like her song makes sense together. Where I'm like, I don't feel like you're randomly like, now's the chorus and back down to the quiet part. Like it's it like it actually has dynamics and it builds into things, and if it does jump up really loud, it's for a purpose. Whereas also Allison, if you say you don't like Us through Tough Love and then I gave you through Good Luck Charlie is also a nap time. I'm kind of like running on an album.
Well, see, that's my other complaint with this album is I skip around through it so much because there are like specific moments in some of the songs that I like. Like I like the opening of Tough Love, but then as soon as it's over, I skip to like later on or whatever.
That's
Go ahead. Yeah.
No, yeah, that's like Risk. I think the chorus is really catchy of Risk, but like everything, like when it's first that stupid guitar strumming pattern.
Dear Evan Hansen.
Yes.
Or like it makes me think of that video of this woman playing guitar on like the New York subway where she's like, fuck, what is it? It's like, she's like, hi, my name is blank and blank. This is an original song I wrote. And then she does that strumming pattern and she's like, no cap, I'm a little drunk right now. And it's like, everyone's like, oh, fuck.
No,
never seen that?
I've never seen that, but
oh, damn.
The way you described it made me not want to see it.
Well, that's the gist of it. But yeah, there's so many little moments of this album where it's like,
no, I agree. Risk, the second half of Risk is actually fine, but that beginning like ding 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 ding, I'm like on the guitar, I'm like, that's enough.
They just
you
need
know,
to
and
like
grab the guitar
yeah.
out of her hands, you know?
Aaron Dessner's fighting for his life on the production end for some of these. They just need to be like baked a little more.
Yes.
Yeah.
And in that song, she says, "And I wake up in the middle of the night." Is that like a direct Taylor Swift reference? So like nothing new. Do we know? No.
Oh, I
As
had
A
many
lot of
of
people
us
wake up
do.
in the middle of the night.
Yeah, for her baby.
But it's like the same exact like rhythm and like melody.
Yeah, like,
it's really like
yeah. How
it's
come like
interesting.
Taylor didn't like put her name on the song? You know, like the way she did the Olivia Rodrigo song.
yeah.
Yeah,
Because she endorses this person.
yeah. Let's go through.
My name
highlights
is
then.
Nicki Minaj, and I endorse these strippers. I endorse one of my favorite Nicki Minaj albums, by the way.
By the way,
She
like,
hasn't done anything bad. Let me Google her really fast, right?
this is kind of like, you know, Nicki Minaj and Ice Spice, where like, you know, she chose Ice Spice as the protege because she knew Nicki knows that Ice Spice won't surpass her. You know, like it's kind of like just like, yeah, I don't have to worry about this. You know, try and come for my job.
I'll do you a favor here.
Let's go through highlights. I like Risk though. I think it's a great watch it be the wrong thing. Classic. It's just like the right amount. I know we keep comparing it to Taylor, but the right amount of like Taylor aggravating, catchy, you know, casual lyricism that she's so good at, you know. And the same thing with like that's one I want to shout out though. Like, but what's one for you, Allison?
If I have to give a highlight, I'll do I Knew It, I Know You. I feel like that's like an actual good version of the impression of, you know, I think of, oh my God, Bo Burnham's ex. What's her name? Why am I blanking? I'm sorry.
Phoebe Bridgers?
Laura.
Yeah, this is like the good version of like a Phoebe Bridgers-esque song where it's like, oh, you're not going outside of your vocal range. I actually like the guitar on it. The lyricism is somewhat interesting. It doesn't seem as, you know, 13-year-old-y. It's at least somewhat poetic. It does get a little repetitive near the end. You had the wrong idea about me, down, down, down. You know, the first half, I like the second half of Risk. I like the first half of this one. So
that is my favorite song on the album too. Although I do like the down, down, down is one of my rare like exceptions where I'm like, okay, I like this repetition. For me, it's doing something. But
it does it for a long time. Honestly, I say that in like one of my favorite songs of all time is like Charlie XCX songs, which are basically like 3 words over and over. So whatever. But she's not pitching herself as like I'm lyric. Goal.
I think that is kind of the thing. Actually, is Gracie is kind of positioning herself in this like singer songwriter, like almost folksy, the way she has like connections with Noah Kahan and like kind of that world. It's a very specific niche where songwriting is emphasized and noticed. And if it's not like top tier, it's also noticed.
Right. Do you think has she considered maybe doing singer-song reading?
She should.
Okay, anyways. What if I don't talk ever again on the podcast after that?
And just in life. That's like he went nonverbal after that.
Cardi B.
Wow.
I would say like she has a lot of instances where it's very like earnest plainness with her lyricism, meaning like just she doesn't like try to embellish the feeling or like the observation. She just like kind of states like what she sees or the truth or like, you know, the line, "You got bored, I felt used, and now I'm sad about it," is very, it's like not even like she's not trying to be like profound. She's just like sharing how she feels in the most basic way. Where I think I Gave You I is the best instance of that, of just like the best collection of these. Like, I think part of it's just like the fuel she's given in this song is so powerful. Like this, like, oh man, like I knew I shouldn't have done this, but I did it, and now I feel the pain of it. Just like I like the line, "I was your floorboard holding you down," meaning like I was your ground and I grounded you. Just like I held my head, I used to hold you, now I walk around us is such a great lyric. Just like really, really good stuff in here. Was I just a placeholder? when did I slip through your fingers? Did I even have you? Just these thoughts you have when you're a young person dating but it's not the right relationship. Yeah, there's some good stuff in there. So that's
yeah, I mean, again, she has like potential for some really good songs. It's just like there's so many. None of the songs are fitting together like properly, or like half a song is great, maybe would fit well with another half of another song, but like things just it just feels like things aren't lining up quite well with this record. So
yeah, I feel like, well, I wonder if, because so much of this to me feels like it needs to be just cooked on a little bit more. I feel like she may have released this in a moment where she was like, I am on the Eras tour. This would be great publicity. People know me right now. People are talking about me right now. I'm going to come out with this in this moment. And like didn't fully like let it simmer to have its full potential and just kind of released it because it's her moment right now.
Yeah.
Which I get, but I also feel like it maybe is suffering a little bit from that.
I mean, I get that, but it is at the expense of
I just saw this name.
Oh, Momola.
It's Yo-Yo Ma. It's a reference to that. It's a flip of your name, Michael Limentato.
I like understand once we really explain the deranged path you took in your mind to get to Momo Law, but it's incomprehensible. I just want you to know.
What's another highlight you want to throw out there?
Before we get too far into another highlight, I want to say I googled, are Gracie Abrams and Paul Mescal still dating? And there's a pop culture like gossip subreddit that was like this is a week ago. So Allison, you're like on top of this. Really, you're like you're getting Google alerts for these guys.
Apparently, I didn't realize it was that breaking. Oh my God.
The notes on this are: she was crying so much he started to cry too. She got up, walked out of the restaurant while they were halfway through the meal, and he was left to pay the bill. Everyone saw it all go down. It looked like a breakup, and we were shocked at just how public it was. And then there's like pictures of like them going into the restaurant. And the top comment says, sorry, a classic good top comment on Reddit says, "Strange that it happened in a restaurant, not a park." And then someone else said, "Yeah, he no longer has to run away from his exes in a park. He has gladiator money now." So, do you guys know about that amazing celebrity gossip?
What's that?
That after he would hook up with women, he would take them on a walk around New York City or in London, and then he would run away.
What?
It's so obviously not true. It was like a Dumois rumor, but it was so funny. It's similar to, Jennifer Aniston and Barack Obama are dating. It stuck with me for a long time. I'm like, this is so funny.
I want that to be true so bad.
The Jennifer Aniston and Barack Obama one?
No, him running away, but also that.
Sure, I guess about the running away one. But
yeah, also, exactly, in his short shorts.
Yeah. Also, that's how you pronounce it. Dumas. Anyways, I was just
Dumois.
Yeah. Dukes Moy.
You're saying it wrong just then. You said Dumas. Dumois.
Dumois. Okay.
More like Dumas if you did cello.
Dumas. Yeah, I want to shout out Let It Happen. No, not that one. Tough Love. Like I like the way she uses like grabbing one or two notable details from the relationship to create some sort of social realism, because if it's too vague, then it's like, where are we? What's happening? Like, or I can't relate to this. I don't know what's like to date Paul Mescal and him run away from me. I don't know what that's like. So like the idea of just like the line about like I ran and took his jacket with the rip in the side. I'm not going to miss the way he kicked me in my bed while sleeping. Those are some good lyrics. Those are some like grounded, like, oh yeah, I could relate to that. That's like, that's very, just like this little thing of just like this one nagging thing, just like, this is fine, I guess, but like he keeps kicking me in my sleep. Maybe this is the wrong thing. And like, I think that's really some great lyricism there. And it's her choosing herself in this song. I think that's great. Yeah.
The chorus is really catchy too. Like that one, I found myself kind of singing afterwards, but
yeah. Stray observations. Any stray observations from this album?
I think one, it's kind of a highlight, but also an observation. And I think it goes back to the discussion we were having about the cover of this album. I think the like gag of the cover is that she cut her hair from the previous album because she was kind of known as like having this long hair and a long bow that would trail down her back when she performed. So I think this like the cover when she revealed it, people were like, oh, like oh my God, like she has a bob now. She cut her hair. And there's a line in the album like I cut the rope and you fall from the tower, which is like a whole like Rapunzel illusion of like I've cut my hair and you have fallen away, which is
When
what
she
it
cut her
is.
hair, did
Just
she
an
lose her
observation.
strength?
She lost her songwriting ability. Am I right?
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
God said, never cut your hair or you'll lose your ability to write songs. And then she drunkenly told Paul Mescal, and he cut her hair in the night and then ran away with her hair. And someday she'll be, probably blindfolded in the Grammys Coliseum, and God will give her the ability to sing one last amazing song.
To bring the house down.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, amazing.
Thank you, fellow Christians. Sean is like, what are you talking about?
Yeah,
what are you talking about? What are you talking about?
Paul Mescal's a Samson-esque figure, by the way. Yeah, I would say like I
would lust after Samson if he was alive today too. So just so you guys know.
Real.
He's probably got a great ab crack. But yeah,
Paul
like,
Mescal?
No, Samson.
Samson.
Paul Mescal.
I was
Samson.
Googling that before we even started the podcast. Let me tell
If
you.
Paul Mescal does?
Have an ab crack? I know he's got an ab crack.
It's not an allegation. It's real.
Well, yeah. He likes
Alleged
hot dogs.
ab crack.
Demois says.
I really like the line, like that night you were talking false prophets and prophets they made in the margin of poetry sonnets. Like, ooh, boom. Good job. Good job, lyricism.
Good job.
Boom. I'm going to give this lyric 5
Bam.
big boobs. Boom.
Bam.
Boom. Boom. Boom.
Any other reservations? We'll throw that.
No.
Careful, I might have to give your observation a rating, though. Watch out.
Oh shit.
Blowing smoke. It was originally called blowing General Snoke.
That's
Like, no.
It's your dad's friend.
For JJ. That one's for him.
God. That's so stupid.
Let's go through final thoughts and ratings. The way it's
Do you think
works.
J.J. Abrams stands for Jar Jar Abrams, by the way?
Yeah,
Yeah, for sure.
Probably.
of course.
It's also funny because listening to Blowing Smoke, like speaking of that one, that was my favorite one the first time I heard this album. I loved Blowing Smoke. And then now that I've listened to it more than once, it's like filtered its way down. But that one was like a hit for me out the gate.
That was when I was like, the first 2 songs, I was like, have I been a wrongful hater? And then I was like, no. That was
No,
right.
I'm justified.
No, this is fine.
Yeah, by the
It's
way,
that
appreciate
middle
you.
nap time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that time. Yeah, Close to You. It just feels like a rip off of Robin. Just feels like her trying to do that. Doesn't quite work. Cute song though. But
Did you know I Love You, I'm Sorry was initially titled IR2, I'm Sorry?
it's not as good as blowing General Snoke.
IR2D2, I'm Sorry.
Yeah.
Actually, speaking of that song, I
Yeah.
Love You, I'm Sorry, is like obviously the kind of parallel to I Miss You, I'm Sorry, which I feel like this album is maybe just full of like references for her fans, like for the people who are going to be gagged by them, like the haircut, the reference to that song, like the release of Close of You, I know was a huge deal. People were very excited about that was going to be on this album. And I feel like I'm just missing it a little bit, where maybe I'm just not enough of a stan to be like gagged by these things and be like, whoa, like she nailed it, and like be on TikTok talking like this with the lyrics. Like maybe I'm just not enough in it to get to that point.
Or sometimes you don't need to be. Like, what's
Yeah.
too far into it that you're in a cult? You know what I mean?
That is true. Which is also maybe why I would potentially see her live, but I'm also terrified of seeing her live
Yes.
because I fear her fans a little bit.
Sure.
I think
Right.
a fandom has gotten terrible. Fans of everyone has gotten
Yeah.
bad, actually.
Well, did you guys see, like, she announced her UK tour opener and so many people signed a petition to replace the opener because they did not know who the opener was.
Oh, that's the whole point.
Yes, that's how people
Good
found
God.
Gracie. Is they didn't know her when she opened at the
This
Eras tour, but like so many of like people signed this petition to replace this poor girl who was just a UK touring artist. Just like
Did Gracie like do anything for it? Like, did she say like
she
she's
hasn't
gonna
said
play?
anything yet. No,
Okay. Wow.
but
Well,
yeah,
she's
people
been
are mad.
busy.
Sucks.
8 days ago, she was going through it. So
She's doing
Wow.
sit-ups. She has no time.
I thought she said put a
regimen.
statement saying that's dumb. Your guys are dumb.
Did she? I
that's
didn't
dumb.
see it.
That's dumb. Look at this. Parenthesis. She flashed her abs.
I love you. I'm sorry. Sounds like an Irish shanty. You know, probably like inspired by Paul Mescal. Like just like, you know, like, the way you're holding like a big beer with like the handle. You know,
Yes.
that's kind of fun.
Okay, literally though, normal thing, which I don't really like, and I kind of have no thoughts about this song. The whole time I was like, "Is this about Paul Mescal? I feel like this is about Paul Mescal." You know?
No, I didn't
It's
even
like
make that connection.
falling in love with movie stars.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
on my screen. Da da da.
I know the timeline doesn't work, but
No, but
yeah.
it kind of works.
No, not that song, but like the gave you, I gave you, that song sounds like it's about what just happened 8 days ago. Like, just like, because Paul Mescal was dating Phoebe Bridgers, they were engaged, and then Phoebe cheated on him with Bo Burnham and stuff, and then he was very sad, and he was like still getting.
Oh my
over
god,
this
he
relationship.
dates insufferable women.
Wait, who did we just say? Sorry,
He used to date Phoebe Bridgers. He just dates like emotional, like women
Yeah.
that are going through it at all times.
Just
Former
these indie
teenagers,
songwriters. Yeah.
Hmm.
former teenagers, if you will.
Yeah.
Yeah. Recent teenagers.
So let's go through final thoughts and ratings. The way this works is we'll rate this album out of 10 with a fun metric at the end. Who would like to go first?
I guess I can go.
Cool.
For me, this is like on the list that you set, this is like a 5 to 6 out of 10. I think for me, it's like a tolerable to adequate, where it has its moments, it has potential more than anything, and I just wish it had more time to cook. So I'm excited to see where she goes next. I would kind of love to see her go more towards like a Noah Kahan folksy side, or in the opposite direction, more of the close to you like pop side. Like I would love to see one or the
pick
other, but I
something.
think I think her voice might suit the folksy side a little better. So I'm hopeful that is maybe where she's going, but I'm just curious to see all the same. But for this, I think like a 5 to 6.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would say 5 or 6. I can give us 5 or 6 Flavor Max, Butterfinger, Buttersquash, M&M, Butchfinger Supremes out of 10.
Nice.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. It's like I'm leaving room for growth, where like I'm giving it a 6 because I'm leaving room for growth, and I want that to happen. I'm rooting for her. She seems like a good person. She seems like a pleasant enough person. Like she seems like there's like more odious artists out there. There's like Kid Rock or whatever, or like Tom McDonald out there. Like
Carrie Underwood.
yeah.
Oh my
Like they're
God.
more odious, like just like villainous, evil artists out there. She seems just like, like her biggest crime is she's just like she came out as a pop girly before she was like fully ready to do it.
Mhm.
That's her biggest sin, it seems. And for like having abs, I'm jealous of. Ooh. But like so like yeah, but they're like real flashes of like, oh, there's a great artist underneath this machinery. There's something here. Like it just needs to be coaxed and brought out, and like yeah, like I personally would not mind going to like a concert of hers with her like her fans just swaying around, holding a beer glass.
You might be the only person.
I was
going to
say, I think the girlies in that audience are going to be too young for beer.
So I like her. I'm sorry. Out of 10.
Oh, that was a good one.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
I don't like this album at all. I will never listen to it again. I don't care for this. I would rather listen to almost any other Taylor Swift album than listen to this, except for Tortured Poets Departments. At least this edits down to one album, one fine to bad album. And because of that, I'm going to give this 3 ab cracks that cause a lens flare out of 10.
Yeah, I'm like, there's so many elements here that are something. Like, again, like the album itself sounds really good. It's just it's like when you, that saying of like, you can put new wheels on a car, but if the suspension is bad, then it's like, what's the point, you know? And that's kind of what
I say that all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah. Straight is giving straight right now.
I just like jacked the car and like put the tires
now he's
on.
giving gay again. He's going back to gay.
I like turned the wheel, you know. But yeah, I don't know. But like the songwriting just isn't there. There's nothing too memorable. And I'm kind of in the same boat. I won't really listen to this again. And I won't really listen to her again unless I hear a lot, like, unless I hear good stuff about
she
her.
freaking slays her next
Yeah,
time.
she better fucking work, okay? She better boots.
She better make her old album sashay away.
Oh
Otherwise, I'm not interested.
She better lip sync for her life on that next album.
The hope is like she gets like a Dua Lipa, you know, like the bullying gets like so intense that she becomes good. You know,
I don't want her to get bullied.
I do.
Too late, already happened. Like,
Oh, I know.
She sang that song about me already. That specific song about me, so I am allowed to bully her.
It's fine. It's like kind of forgettable. I'm gonna give it 4 Supreme Leader Snoke orgasms out of 10.
6 Momo Laws out of 10. So a bunch of callbacks. That was our review of Gracie Abrams' The Secret of Us. And guess what? The secret of us, of the podcast, is we love Michael and we're going to miss him. And he's great. And he's like such a joy to be his friend and his collaborator. And you know, I laugh so hard. I laugh so good. So yeah. Like, thank you, Michael. We love
you guys will all see and hear from me effectively the same amount as you do now. So don't worry.
Amazing.
Yeah, that's what I like to hear. You could follow the show at Andrew. No, you can't do that. You can follow the show at IBMTLTT on all platforms. Like and subscribe on YouTube and Spotify. Follow me at Andrew Ambrose Lee on all platforms. Michael at Limentato. Sean at T1_Sean. Where can people follow you, Allison?
Just my name, Alison Mink. Allison with 1 L on everything, pretty much.
Listen to that song where she plays the piano.
Oh yeah. Which Spotify so rudely was like, "Girl, you had 30 listeners this year," and I'm like, I did not need.
Don't tell me.
Keep it to yourself. Thank you so much.
If you don't have anything nice to say, don't say it at all.
Exactly.
31 now, you know. It could be you, listener.
Wait, when is this coming out?
February 7th.
Oh, never mind. Okay.
Oh, what do you?
Well,
what do
can
you,
I?
what do you got?
Wait, so
Happy Valentine's Day shout out.
Yeah.
I just want to say, love my husband.
Yeah, husband hammers over here.
Yeah.
Down, husband hammers.
Oh man.
I play guitar with a singer named Liz Allen, and we're putting out an album sometime at the end of March. So you can
It's so fun.
check that out when it comes out. Follow Liz Allen on Instagram. And then my other band, Sorry Forever, we're working on an EP that'll ideally come out in April or May. So you can follow us.
Oh my God.
At Sorry Forever. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry Forever. Sorry Forever. Is that
Sorry
the
Forever.
woman's experience?
What? I don't even understand that one.
Yeah.
Women are like conditioned to apologize.
To
too
say
much.
sorry for everything.
Yeah.
Have you thought about
Yeah.
apologizing for that one, Andrew?
Thanks so much, everybody. Have a good day.
Andrew experience.
Just kidding. I'm sorry to women. All right. Thanks so much, everybody.
More
Have
like
a good
this.
day.
More like the secret of D's nuts. Am I right?
Yeah.
Wow, bazinga.
Blowing Snoke. Goodbye. Click.